Hello, dear friends. According to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle in quantum physics, the more you know about the position of a particle, the less you know about its velocity. That's why we know so little about the timing of the reset. Although some talk about the end of June, but this is not an exact science, but a betting pool. Opinion piece. There are two resets. Only the Davos one is publicized. The QFS is kept secret. They don't want to talk about it so as not to delay it. This game has always been rigged, waiting for the system to implode. There is talk of basket of world currencies. The Great Awakening will be the blockbuster of the decade. Chinese elderly live many years without medical beds. Market crash predicted on Friday the 13th and stock market rises. Let's start. Let's not forget that there are two competing global financial restart projects, the Davos and the Coalition. One is called the Great Reset and the other is called QFS. The first is a master plan for more depth and control, and the second one is the quantum financial system. Under the QFS, none of the international banks or any other world organization will have any authority or any say in the revaluation of currencies. If you hear talk of a financial restart, it is most likely the bankers' plan, not the QFS, which will not be officially revealed before the time is right for release. The Great Reset is the globalist system of the old world order, while the QFS is the coalition system. Both systems will find their place in their respective timelines, and that is why we wish as many as possible to awaken, so that they can enjoy the fruits of the QFS system. Daily, we are told to watch the water, stock up on food and supplies, get hit by a solar storm, the internet goes down, the EBS is activated, big announcements are made, and the financial restart is released. Why do the intelligence providers keep giving dates when they also say that no one is aware of the exact timing? For example, they predicted the market crash on Friday the 13th, and the stock market has gone up. All will be revealed when each piece is in place, not before or after. Trust only in divine light and love. Reflections. Cause of the delay by Patrick G. I have finally realized that the reason for the delay is for the currency revaluation to be implemented and take effect for all to see and experience. We keep hearing from the pundits that things are on the move. Bad idea when there is still a war against the dark side. As long as the factions are still at large, they will use every means at their disposal to avoid launching for as long as possible to keep us in agony. Gold and silver are still being reached and manipulated, which says they are still making moves on the chessboard to keep the precious metals below their true market value. Second, waiting for the system to implode. We are waiting for the central bank's system of interest-bearing control debt issuance to implode. The good old gold-backed system will take over. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the world's first currency was the doublon called the Spanish silver dollar. Then the pound sterling took the lead during the 19th century until the middle of the 20th century. But after the agreement between King Faisal of Saudi Arabia and Kissinger, when they agreed to sell oil in 1974, The dollar rose and became the world's first currency. But now the Chinese yuan has begun to replace the dollar and could be the world's leading currency in 10 or 20 years. There are some global economists who call for the adoption of a basket of world currencies, such as the US dollar, the Chinese yuan, the euro, the British pound, the Japanese yen, and the Russian ruble, and thus no country would be at the mercy of another country. Third, we are in an optimal moment according to Holy or they don't want anyone to talk so as not to slow it down or violate any security. Yes, it is very hard to keep believing. However, we have the collective power to manifest this now. Never give up. Stay strong and positive and keep the faith. And most of all, be kind, be loving to each other, and most of all to yourself. We are close according to Wolverine. I have received from many sources lately that we are definitely close, but no matter what information I receive or what the curves say, it means absolutely nothing if we don't get the green light from Treasury. Opinions. First, bird's eye view of the planetary situation by Starship Earth. We were warned that this ride would get a lot wilder and to buckle up. It's like being on a roller coaster, blindfolded. We can't tell what's coming next, and the weather forecast is a mighty storm. Second, is there a perfect storm coming by Starship Earth? What do you think are the chances that it will be the culmination of the many balls that are jangling at the same time? Third, the Great Awakening will be the blockbuster of the decade. We are living the virtual reality version of this unreal experience, replete with sanity and nonsense. The storm clouds are gathering and the coalition is preparing to unleash a strike against the dark side, which will awaken an entire caboose load of sleepyheads. The thing is way ahead of the click, but this is not an exact science. Fourth, we are watching the movie. Many actors have retired from the multi-boat war, and some may return later. Some others are gone for good. 5. Sierra's opinion. If Elon Musk refuses to censor and block Twitter from seeing the red pill spectacle Durham is about to unleash, then they will be forced into a corner. Remember that public awakening is their greatest fear. All things seem to be bringing us closer to the 5D storm, and nothing can stop it. Whether Elon Musk knows it or not, I believe God is using him. 6. Take time each day to reflect on how far you have come on your ascension journey. Many volunteered and few were chosen. The coalition's mission to liberate humankind was never going to be for the faint-hearted. You are still here. You are still fighting. Be proud of it. 7. The economy will bring down the central banks according to the X22 report. The world is now experiencing inflation like it has not seen since 1971. These high costs are making it very difficult to make ends meet. 8. The Fed can't fight inflation according to Peter Schiff. If the Fed could fight inflation, they would have started the fight a long time ago. They would have accepted preemptively when it was obvious that it was a problem. 9. The bond market will force the Fed to turn around according to David Hunter. Markets are bottoming out, fear is high, and from here bond markets will set the tone. 10. Brent crude rises above $109 a barrel. Bloomberg reported that oil rose to consolidate gains in the wake of the European Union's efforts to ban Russian oil. The bloc may have to consider delaying the embargo on Russian oil if it can't get Hungary to agree to the embargo. 11. Investors are selling like it's 2008 according to Dave Granseller. Investors around the world have been hit hard by the recent massive sell-off in the stock, bond and precious metal markets, and there is a degree to which it is starting to feel a bit like 2008, when traders were selling anything. Of course, that doesn't make it the easiest environment in which to decide how to respond. Reset news. Lunar eclipse. In the early morning hours of Sunday into Monday, a total lunar eclipse will be repeated again, an astronomical phenomenon that is a delight for amateurs. During the superflower super blood moon lunar eclipse, the moon will only receive the light of the sun reflected through the Earth's atmosphere and will change color over the minutes, from grey to pink and then to orange and red. Second, Space Station recorded a fleet of UFOs. On May 6, a formation of more than 30 UFOs was captured by one of the live cameras on the International Space Station. According to the information received by Dr. Michael Salla, the UFOs belong to collaborating organizations that are part of an official sanctioned disclosure plan being carried out with Earth Alliance. Third, food shortages created by the destruction of processing plants. There have been 12 food processing plants this year alone, and more in the last 2 years, and we are called conspiracy theorists. Fourth, lack of gas. After Russia stopped delivering gas to Poland and other countries, there is only one pipeline left that delivers gas to Germany, but Germany cannot fill its gas reserves because the volume delivered is too small. Germany now delivers Russian gas to Poland, and Europe's larger gas storage is at 0.5% of its capacity. Very little. 5. Global cyber attack and mass arrests imminent. 6. Multiple government agencies around the world launched a threat advisory targeting managed service providers. 7. Multinational financial services company Charles Schwab is certain that systemic and structural changes are coming to the food and energy supply chains. 8. Thousands of officials on bicycles were filmed in Washington, D.C. 9. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen didn't release the main Iraqi bank from sanctions, prolonging the process, so it was too late to go this week. 10. The issue with Yellen has been resolved, so Iraq will release its new rate. Economy. First, Wall Street closes in the green and the Nasdaq rises 3.82%. Second, stocks close higher as Powell offers reassuring words. Third, investors exhibit panic-like buying as the stock market rebounds. 4. Crazy markets are smashing stock and bond forecasts. 5. The beginning of the end of the stock market correction could be near. 6. Oil rises 4% as gasoline prices hit a record high. 7. Record diesel prices put pressures on drivers. 8. July and August will be expensive gas months. 9. Housing prices are unlikely to plummet. 10. California sees record 97.5 billion surplus driven by the wealthy. Markets. First, gold closes at 14-week lows post-West weekly decline in 11 months. Second, companies cut staff, freeze hiring or cut costs. Third, Twitter sinks after Elon Musk says deal is on hold. Fourth, Elon Musk believes the work ethic is alive and kicking in China. 5. Microsoft has plummeted this year. One analyst says it's time to buy. 6. Apple is no longer the most valuable listed company in the world. 7. Apple suppliers and major chip makers succumb to China's blockade. Cryptocurrencies. First, cryptocurrency market lost 200 billion in a single day. Second, the first African adopter of Bitcoin faces a backlash from the Central Bank of the Central African Republic. Europe. First, European stock markets bounce on Friday by Powell. Second, the euro is on the verge of breaking the last support levels before parity. Third, Europe faces a gasoline price shortfall due to Russia's lump. Fourth, Germany alludes to counter-sanctions and assures that there are alternatives to Russian gas. 5. Containers circulate in the port of Rotterdam pending geopolitics. 6. Japan and the European Union defend a free and open Indo-Pacific in the face of the rise of China. 7. Turkey's president opposes Finland and Sweden joining NATO. 8. Agriculture is the first affected by the war in Ukraine. 9. The European Union could be transformed into the federal states of Europe. Russia. First, the Russian ruble weakens after touching a 5-year high against the euro. Second, the Russian ruble became the world's highest yielding currency in 2022, up 11% against the dollar according to Bloomberg. Third, global appetite from Russian wheat remains strong. 4. Putin says that grain harvest in Russia will be 130 million tons. 5. Russian oil production may fall to an 18-year low due to the embargo. 6. Lavrov accuses the European Union of becoming an aggressive and bellicose actor, in quotes. Americas. First, US prepares a critical summit in view of the possible absence of Cuba and Venezuela. Second, Argentina's central bank raises rate to 49% as inflation rises. Third, Argentina has gas, but needs heavy investment to be a global player. 4. Indigenous communities in Peru continue to protest against the Chinese-owned Las Bambas mine. 5. Colombia decriminalizes medically assisted suicide. 6. No clues in Colombia about the murders of Paraguayan anti-drug prosecutor Marcelo Pecci. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.